I first met her on a dying moon, a place where light went to fade and machines whispered their last sighs. My crew had been scavenging the wreckage of an ancient battlefield, searching for alloys and cores worth selling. We weren't soldiers, just junkers with bad luck and worse timing. When the sensors screamed, I thought it was radiation. It wasn't. It was her. They called her Valkyrie of the Thousand Deaths, the galaxy's most feared huntress. A legend wrapped in armor woven from the bones of extinct beasts, eyes rumored to see heat, motion, and fear itself. Every mercenary had a story about the day she ended their friend. None of them were the same, but they all ended the same way: silence. So naturally, I mocked her. Not to her face, no one was that stupid, but to my crew, while the comms crackled with static and the air tasted of ozone. Sure, I'd said, the so-called Huntress is probably just another tall tale. Some alien boogie-woman parents used to scare their brats into eating protein paste. The universe heard me, because when the storm cleared and the dust settled, a figure stood among the ruins, watching. Her armor shimmered like oil on water, her silhouette sharp as the horizon line. And when she spoke, her voice rolled through my bones. Mock me again, human. I froze. My crew scattered. But I stood there, mouth dry, realizing the cosmos had a sense of humor. The capture. They left me behind. I can't blame them. Valkyrie didn't kill me, not right away. She bound my wrists with some kind of living filament that pulsed with warmth. The ship she dragged me to was silent, no crew, no signs of life. Only her. For days, I sat in a corner while she studied holographic maps and sharpened her claws on her own armor. Occasionally, she'd glance at me like I was an insect she hadn't decided whether to crush or keep in a jar. Finally, I couldn't take it. If you're going to kill me, I muttered, do it. Don't stare. Her gaze flicked toward me. You humans always rush to endings. You think survival is owed. Not owed, I said, just preferred. For the first time, she almost smiled. You are strange. We were still orbiting that broken moon when her ship took a hit. From what? I still don't know. One moment we were floating through the void. The next the hull screamed, and alarms burst into life. She tried to stabilize the engines, but something inside them exploded. Some alien drive I couldn't identify. I'd been an engineer on a Terran freighter once. Instinct took over. I yanked free of the living bonds, dove into the maintenance hatch, and rewired what I could with trembling hands. Every spark felt like a heartbeat counting down. When it was over, the ship was dead, but we were alive. She found me in the smoke, crouched beside a melted conduit. You could have fled, she said. Where? Space. That earned me a long, searching look. Then, quietly, you saved me. More like both of us. Her claws flexed once, uncertainly. Then she said something I never expected. You have my debt. The Huntress without a hunt. We limped to an abandoned outpost carved into the moon's canyon wall. The nights there were long, the air thin, and the silence unbearable. Days passed with no rescue. I scavenged power cells, rebuilt filters, and tried not to think about how easily she could end me. But she didn't. Instead, she helped. She learned from me how to weld, how to read human schematics, how to brew something almost like coffee from the black moss that grew on the rocks. She confessed once, under a flickering lantern, that her people had betrayed her. She'd been ordered to eliminate a colony that wasn't a threat, just a mistake in coordinates. She refused. They branded her traitor. So you ran, I said. So I lived, she corrected. She watched me work, her tail flicking idly. Why do you fix things that should remain broken? Because broken things are what I understand best. For a long moment, She said nothing. Then softly, "Perhaps that is why I am still here." The wound came suddenly, a band of scavenger raiders who thought they'd found easy prey. I was outside trying to recalibrate a sensor dish when they attacked. The Akiri met them like a storm. Even with damaged armor and half her strength, she moved like light turned solid. But there were too many. I grabbed an old plasma cutter, joined the fight, and caught a blaster shot through the side. When I fell, the world dimmed. The last thing I saw was her standing over me, roaring, a sound that shook the canyon. I woke days later, my wound sealed by glowing resin. She sat nearby, staring at me as if afraid I'd vanish. "You are difficult to kill," she said. "You're welcome," I rasped. She blinked, then, hesitantly, placed her clawed hand over mine. "Do not mock me again," she murmured, "for I would not survive losing you." That night, the temperature dropped so low the air crystallized. I'd built a small fire, but it wasn't enough. She lay a few meters away, wrapped in a thermal sheet. I must have shivered, because she glanced over, eyes glimmering gold. "You will freeze," she said simply, and before I could answer, she moved closer, hesitant, graceful, like a predator pretending to be gentle. When her body pressed against mine, warmth spread instantly. Her armor hissed softly as it retracted in sections, revealing smooth fur patterned like nebulae. I tensed. She didn't. She just let out a sound, a deep, resonant purr, nothing like a cat's but close enough to make me laugh in disbelief. "You're purring," I whispered. "It is the reaction. My species releases vibration to share warmth." "Sure," I said. "Purely biological." Her eyes met mine, and for the first time I saw something raw behind them, vulnerability. "Do you mock me again, human?" I smiled. "Only because I like the sound." She exhaled through a laugh that might have been a growl. "Then sleep, mocker." Weeks passed. We fixed the transmitter together, hands brushing over tools, voices blending in the small echoes of the outpost. I learned the rhythm of her breathing, the weight of her silence, the small twitch of her tail when she was amused. When the distress beacon finally powered up, we stared at it for a long time. Rescue meant separation. Her people would hunt her again. Mine would interrogate me about her species until there was nothing left of what we had. She spoke first. "If they come, they will take me. Then we don't let them." Her gaze softened. "You would run with me?" "Guess I already did." The ship that answered our signal wasn't Terran or alien. It was a rogue trader vessel. Smugglers. Dangerous. Unpredictable. But they offered passage off-world. At the airlock, she hesitated. "Your world will not accept me." "Then it's not my world anymore," I said. Her pupils widened, like collapsing stars. "You would abandon your kind?" "For the one who taught me there's more to warmth than fire," I said quietly. Something inside her armor shimmered, like starlight under skin. She stepped forward and pressed her forehead to mine, a gesture of her kind's deepest bond. Then, softer than the hum of engines, she purred again. Now, every night aboard our patched-together freighter, I wake to find her curled against me. The galaxy calls her monster, killer, exile. To me, she's the sound of home in a universe that forgot how to care. Sometimes, when she dreams, her tail flicks and her purr deepens, vibrating through my chest like the heartbeat of a sleeping star. I trace the scars on her armor and whisper things I never thought I'd say to anyone, least of all her.